Inside Leominster is brought to you through the generous support of Colonial Insulation Company, residential and commercial insulation and fireproofing services, specializing in blown-in cellulose as well as spray foam insulation. For more information, visit their website, colonialinsulation.com.
Hello and welcome Inside Leominster. My name is Dean Mazzarella, Mayor for the city, and yes, we're live tonight. We're actually back in the studio, and early in the year we talked about getting out more and returning back to community events and seeing what's going on. And well, now it's been several weeks since we've been back in the studio, but we're here tonight, and I'm sure he's not getting rusty at all. But anyway, we're going to head right over to the art report.
Vacation's over.
The party's over, as they say.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Hey, I come across a great book called The Bandstand Diaries. And it's all about Dick Clark and American Bandstand.
Oh, yeah.
All the regulars that were on there, Arlene Sullivan, Justine Corelli. Oh, it's a great read. Great read. But how about this weather? We've had like 36 days, out of 36 days, 31 rain or something like that. Cold at night, warm in the morning. I've been wrapping and unwrapping the fig tree, driving me crazy.
This is like when you're a little kid, you kept bugging your parents about opening gifts for Christmas. They'd say, all right, but if you keep it up.
Yeah, there's something going on with the atmosphere. I'm not one of those that get hung up on that stuff, but something ain't right here. And down south's getting hammered.
I know. Climate.
With tornadoes and everything else.
Climate
change. The
change.
golf courses are paying the price, I can tell you that.
I just can't even imagine what's going on there.
Well, you know what? I've been in this house over 40 years. I've got water where I never had it before, in the yard. Standing water.
Standing water, which means that's the water table.
Yeah, exactly. And we've lost some beautiful bushes. And I was talking to the golf superintendent at the golf course the other day about the fig trees, and he's got peach trees. And he was explaining to me some of the bushes at the golf course. He said this past winter, when it would get warm up and then it would go 10 below zero with wind, it was killing the bark, and then that, it would have the snow acts as a insulation. And we didn't have a lot of that, so therefore we're seeing the end result. Today I have beautiful ocean rose bush. We're trying to save it, so I had to cut that off even with the ground.
Now's the time to do it.
We had another one, so we've lost 3 bushes here.
Now's the time to cut them rose bushes.
Already done.
Yeah,
yep, we did it. Rita did it the other day, so we're in good shape.
It definitely is having an effect on things.
It is. But other than that, I don't think there's a city in the country that looks as good as Leominster does.
We are sparkling clean. We're shining.
You know, the other day we were out we were doing errands at one end of town to the other, one end at the top of up by the old Kmart area, and back down again. If it's not being paved or fixed, it's being worked on to be paved and fixed. And the ones they were doing before we're done, everything looks absolutely beautiful.
Well, that's the plan, right?
It is. It just makes you smile. And you know, I'm driving around, and you can see it on people's faces. That there's an attitude that goes with that on the positive side.
Yes.
I think that's wonderful.
We've reached a tipping point, right, where people are feeling good about the community, good about where they live. They're excited. They're promoting it themselves. They're just, they see what's going. That's the tipping point, right?
Yeah, I saw two city workers today, and they were walking, smiling. I mean, it's just, there's an old adage, or not an old adage, but a reputation of 40 years ago. Well, that isn't there. I mean, everybody's happy, and that's good.
Everybody's got a job. Everybody's got something to be held accountable for. We've got a good team of people that are excited about what they're doing, and boy, it makes life easy.
That starts at the top and filters down.
And from the bottom up, right?
You got that right.
Top
they all
down,
meet
bottom
in the
up.
middle and get it done.
Everybody needs to be accountable. Everybody.
That's right.
No matter where you are in the food chain, right?
No question about it. No question about it. From the truck that delivers the fruit to the people that buy it and eat it.
That's it.
And the growers.
Let's
not forget the growers. And
well,
having said that,
it'll dry out, trust me. It'll be. Remember that year, 2015? We had all that snow, and then the following year, we had a drought.
yes.
So
yes.
that's the extremes. So
Yeah,
we
it's
are
crazy.
we are
Crazy.
resilient. We're resilient. And one positive thing is it for Cynthia, it's some of the early the early spring flowering shrubs and plants and trees held on longer. So as normally you would lose those flowers, they hung in there an extra couple weeks. So it's extra bonus, and that comes from cool nights and a little.
Well, with the water, I've never had a lawn so green.
Yeah. So see.
I've mowed it 3 times already.
Really, huh? Yeah.
And I fed it today, so it's happy. All right, I'll let you go, big fella.
Good to hear from you.
Same here.
All right. We're back
right,
in the
take
groove.
care.
We're back in the groove. We're going to take a short break here at Inside Leominster. We're coming back, and we're going to be talking about adult day health centers and what they do and who attends, what's the average day like, and so we'll be right back here at Inside Leominster.
All right. Do I cut it?
Or you want to count back? Don't cut it yet.
Ready?
Until they're ready.
3, 2, 1.
All right.
Hey! Go, go, go.
We have our little citation here.
Great.
I want to congratulate you. Now I have to congratulate you for being #1. But thank you for investing. You guys done a great job on the renovation, expanding your business in Leominster. And so we're happy and appreciative to the whole team here. And so I have to give my little plug. I got mine done, my truck bed in 2007. And it's still like brand new. It's the only thing in life you can actually buy that they're going to say will actually work and last that long. It's the only thing.
And I didn't tell him to say that.
It's the only anything else you buy, you're like, oh yeah, it'll last. Do you want to buy an extended warranty? The second you buy something, they want to know if you want to buy extended warranty. Well, you can come to Rhino Liney's. You don't have to buy an extended warranty. It'll actually last, right?
Awesome.
I'm worried about it. It might outlast me. That's what I'm worried about.
Hopefully
Anyway,
not.
congratulations.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thanks,
Thank you very
Dean.
much.
Go on, get over here.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Great. Thank you all for
Thank
coming.
you.
Appreciate it.
Now get out of here.
Wonderful, man. It's wonderful.
There you go. So the Carrigan family, #1 franchise in the entire country for Rhino Lining. So this is this spray-on. They can pretty much spray it on anything today. And I was saying I got my truck done in 2007, and it's still like brand new. And I was kidding around saying, what can you buy today and purchase where they say, oh yeah, don't worry about it. It's a really good product. It'll last a long time. And then the first words out of their mouth is, would you like to buy the extended warranty? That scares me when people say that. Like, would you like to buy the extended? Why? You mean you don't think it's going to last like a year or 2 years? Yeah, but it's only this much. I'm like, I don't know, but if something happens, I'm bringing it back. I don't know what you're talking about, any extended warranty.
There you go.
Anyway, Rhino Lining and the Carrigan family has expanded over there on Mechanic Street, and that's exciting. They're #1 Rhino. So it's a spray-on. It's kind of like rubbery, and they spray it on the undercarriage of trucks because this is New England, salt just gets to everything.
true.
You know, we've got trucks at the DPW, and that salt just comes down,
away.
just eats away at them. And they do a great job of keeping them clean and rebuilding them and taking out the rust. But boy, it's steel and metal is not the right
battle.
material in New England. Anyway, our guests are from the Fitchburg Adult Day Health Center. It's Anne Marie D'Olimpio, RN, and also Ellen Sparrow is a licensed social worker.
That's correct.
And also at the Fitchburg Adult Day Health Center. So some people might be thinking, so what is exactly a day health center?
Well, it's really the best kept secret. A lot of people, like you said, don't really know what an adult day health center is. We work with the GBNA Healthcare, and that agency, we have 4 adult day health centers. We work in the one in Fitchburg, there's one in Athol, Gardner, and Greenfield.
That's all of the Gardner visiting nurses?
Yes.
It's a big organization. I didn't realize they were
Yes,
that big.
very big,
Huge.
yes. It's a great place.
Yeah, one-stop kind of shopping there.
They have a lot of services.
Sure.
So we work in the one in Fitchburg, and each center is a little different. We have the capacity for 60 patients, 60 clients. And what it is, it's a special program for adults that have special needs that can attend for the day that require supervision and healthcare services.
Right. So you're not leaving somebody home alone.
Exactly.
And then you don't have to put them in a full care facility, which is
Exactly.
typically where people don't want to go.
Right.
And so they're safe, they're busy, somebody's checking vital
Exactly.
signs.
We
making
can't
sure they're
open
doing
without
all
a
right.
nurse. There's
Yeah.
always a nurse on duty.
Yeah.
And it's a great program. It's a safe program. It's a great place for your loved one to go. It provides respite for caregivers because lots of times caregivers are still working and yet they have loved ones at home. And what do you do if you can't leave a loved one alone?
Or they've gotten older. And it's tough.
It is.
It's a lot of work, and
It's-
they wouldn't have it any other way.
Exactly.
But they're much better at being a caregiver if they can get some rest.
Exactly, respite, and they can take care of
Occasionally in there,
themselves.
right? Yeah. And I'm sure they never would ask or would, you know what I mean? But that's just who they are.
Yeah.
An example would be a senior, perhaps who used to go to the senior center and really enjoy doing that, but then they find out maybe they're having a hard time walking,
Right.
maybe they need a little bit more help in the bathroom, and in going to the senior center they're not able to get that assistance. Well, adult day health is a good option because then we've got CNAs who can help people maybe go to the bathroom or help with eating.
And not miss out on the social part of what they do.
Exactly.
Exactly. They're
There
not
are
home alone. They're-
Definitely studies I've seen in white papers and research that says, when people enter these programs, they don't go sort of downhill. They get so much better and they're so much active rather than in the past people might be embarrassed. They might tend to stay home. That means they're less active. I mean,
Exactly.
so this is these are just great programs.
Definitely, absolutely. We do a lot of fun things at the program.
Who funds these? Are these government funded or Medicaid or Medicaid or?
Good question.
Mass
There are some
health?
options for funding the day program. Certainly people can pay privately, and you find that that's still so much more savings than if you hired help privately in your
Sure.
home. We have a contract with the VA, so people don't always realize that. If you have a VA physician, you may be eligible to have the VA pay for your adult day health services 2 or 3 times a week, depending on your eligibility. People who are financially eligible can get assistance through the local aging service access point, which is a fancy name for Montechusett Home Care in our region. So oftentimes I'll refer people to Montechusett Home Care and say, call them and check and see if perhaps you're eligible and you can get some help to pay for the cost of the day program. And yes, Mass Health pays for the day program. Certainly you need to have medical condition, you need assistance with some activity of daily living, whether that's eating or bathing or toileting. So that helps you meet the criteria because Mass Health keep a close eye on that. And when you meet those criteria, Mass Health will pay up to 5 days a week of day programming.
So before I forget, and this is really important, how does somebody who might be watching, whether it's a caregiver or a person themselves that might be interested, or a family member, who do they call? Who do they reach out to? And you know, that's important. Before we end our little chat here, I want to make sure we get that in.
Well, we're in we have a website, gvnahealthcare.org. They can go on the website, get our phone number. We always like to tell them to come down and take a tour. We don't have free days anymore, but they can certainly spend like an hour or so to
Right, like an open house kind of thing.
yeah, to see what we do for activities and see if it would fit their needs.
So we encourage people to come and visit. We're at 481 Electric Ave in Park Hill Plaza in Fitchburg.
Yep, you can just drop in. You don't need an appointment.
All right.
Just
That's
drop in
right.
for a tour.
Oh, that's
Yep,
awesome.
and they can give Anne Marie or myself a call. We're always happy to answer questions and talk to people and help them figure out if it's a good fit for them
Right.
to come and spend some time with us.
Well, this is really helpful, and again, if anybody is interested in finding out more information, we have it at City Hall, so if you can't get a hold of them or you forgot the number, just by all means give us a buzz.
Oh, that'd be great.
That's
Thank
great
you.
information, thank you. There's people that watch every show, when we're bringing information like this, we'll get feedback later on that, oh, you know, I never realized that was around, thank you. And we help to refer people, and you know, sometimes they
that's
make use of the services,
good.
other times they don't. Maybe it's not today, but maybe it's a month from now or a year from now, but at least
Yep,
it's creating
that's
that
great.
awareness.
Because it's a sad thing when I meet a person who was a former caregiver and say, oh, I kept my mom at home all the way to the end and it was so hard. And I say, well,
It
they
didn't
find
have
out
to
where I
be.
worked. They have programs
Yeah.
like that, and then I
Yes.
feel really badly.
Yeah.
That's,
So
yep.
we really appreciate the opportunity to be here and
Yes,
for you to
thank you.
share that information.
Sure, and that's the thing that you want to keep people at their house. And if somebody chooses to take care of a loved one, you want them to do so, but you want to help them and make sure
Exactly.
they're getting the right services and the caregiver's getting some help and a little bit of rest once in a while, so they can recharge those batteries,
Exactly.
so they can be more helpful. Because
So-
you can really, I'm sure you've seen caregivers
Oh, yeah.
just drain the last bit of ounce of energy that they have, and their health starts to go. And
Yeah,
you know, and
exactly.
so this isn't shedding your responsibilities as a caregiver. This is an opportunity and you know, the chance to recharge your batteries and to be more helpful to the person that you're giving care to.
Exactly.
So.
Well said.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I'm just trying to figure it out, right? My
Yeah.
own filter here, trying to put it through. But really, I mean, I've talked to so many people that like, yeah, I made sure my parents, you know, were right there to the end. And then, you know, they're just burnt out completely.
Yeah.
And towards the end, they're not any good to themselves, not let alone the person that they're giving care to. When it's, listen, you're not giving up your responsibilities.
No, not at all.
It's just a, you know, it's just a break. That's all.
And it helps
You
the
know?
client too, because they found that a lot of clients sleep better because they're active during the day.
Everything gets better. Their health
Exactly.
improves in many
It
cases
does.
as a result.
And having that nursing oversight and there, and we can pick up on things.
Watch the vitals.
Exactly, we can
Not feeling
pick up
too
on
good
things.
today. Let's check this.
Right, we can prevent things from getting worse by
Right.
picking them up early detection.
Like guys, we just leave everything and, you know, just put it off, right? It'll just get better.
It
you
will
know?
just get better.
Just be a cold. We're good like that. Well, ladies, thank you very much for coming on. I don't know if I forgot to ask any questions, but is there an age limit somewhere?
Just adults 18 and older.
Okay.
We've had anywhere from 30s up till 97.
Wow.
And we did have over 100 client, over
Wow.
100-year-old client for a little bit.
Well, you hope them
That's
to
right.
get to that over the 100 piece, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. You know, in our society today, everyone, people with maybe physical or mental disabilities, everybody's out in the community today. It's such a neat thing that we're really, you know, it was different than it was maybe 30, 40 years ago. You wouldn't see some people. You wondered if they were still living in town. You just didn't see them.
Yeah.
And today, you know, with the help of insurance companies and the community's more acceptance and certainly getting that information out, right? Creating
Right.
awareness.
Exactly, yep.
You know, everybody just sort of, there's no need to, you know, run and hide for any reason at all. It's, you know, it's a better world.
I agree, and I think that that's a good point because in our program we have such a wide range of people with different disabilities. We have people with developmental disabilities. We
Right.
have people with some mental health problems. We have people with dementia. We have people with just regular medical problems, and all get along.
Oh,
We
yeah.
have a good time
And they're an
together.
important part of our community. right?
That's
They
right.
are.
That's
Exactly.
right.
And they need to know that they're an important part to the community.
And we get to know each person individually and do full assessments to determine what's interesting for them to do, what do
Right.
they enjoy, so that we can provide the best services for them.
Yeah, because not everything appeals to everybody, right?
Exactly.
Right.
So you just keep trying new things and finding out from what they like, and all of a sudden they perk right up, right?
Yeah, we have
They
a lot
went
of
from-
fun.
Yeah,
It's a good
I
group.
can tell.
Yeah,
I
it's a
can
good
tell.
group. We really do every day. We also do things with the community. They try to do one time a year, we do a fundraiser. We've
right.
raised money for the Alzheimer's Association. We've raised money for the Northeast Houndsmen. They came in and did a demonstration.
That's right.
And that was fun. The clients love that. And they feel good giving back to the community.
That's right. This year they voted, and our fundraiser for this year is the American Cancer Society.
Oh, great.
So we're excited. When we had done the Alzheimer's Association, the goal was maybe to raise $400. So the clients got so much behind that. The graph that I made kept
Yeah,
going up
kept
and
up.
down because I was running out of space, and they raised over $2,000.
Wow.
See,
Yeah, that's
you know,
see, they're important members of our community,
Exactly.
a
right?
meaningful activity,
Sure.
something that
Meaningful.
everyone got back.
And as
Right.
we live longer, the chances of developing some sort of, running into some sort of a hiccup along the way is probable, right? It's highly
Yeah.
probable. But we want to continue on with the activities that we enjoy, and we
That's
want to be productive members of the community and involved and appreciating all the things that happen around and participating. And, your agencies and others do a great job of making that happen.
We have every Friday morning dance party, so
Oh,
you should
right.
stop in. We get their requests, what they want to do, and what they want to listen to, and it can range anywhere from Bruce Springsteen back to Frank Sinatra. I mean, it runs the whole thing. And
Break dancing going on, huh?
just about.
Yeah. Hey, that's good. It must be rewarding even for the employees
Oh
and the
yeah,
staff.
we have a lot of fun. We have Congo lines.
to know that you're
they
making a
just love it.
difference in these people's lives.
They look forward to it.
Yeah.
Friday morning
Friday
dance party.
morning.
That's right.
Friday morning face-off.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a
They-
dance-off,
You will
right?
see us boogieing, yes.
You should come down.
I
Start
would
around
love to
10
come.
Friday morning. You have a good time.
Well, thank you, ladies, for
Thank
coming
you
on.
so much for
Thank
having
you
us
for what
on.
you do, and a big thank you to the staff and the funding agencies that help make this happen. As you said, the
Absolutely.
veterans, or Mass
Absolutely.
Health, or the taxpayers that help pay, insurance programs, whatever it might be, private pay. That's how these things happen. And I think when people see that that's where their tax dollars are going, they're very satisfied about that. They're happy that they
exactly.
can actually see where those, and it's having an impact on their family and neighbors, maybe friends.
Yep,
So must be rewarding.
it is.
is.
Thank you both.
Thank you very much for having us.
We're going to take a short break. I'm going to take a drink of water. There is still time. If you can get to your computer or your phone or however it is and connect to the internet, there is still time to vote for Leominster High School Band. They
All
are
right.
in a bit of a dance-off themselves. And this isn't a music competition. This is $100,000 that they're competing for. And there's another community that seems to be edging us out. Well, I think they peaked out. This is our opportunity to sort of take over. We were
good.
a couple thousand behind, but we have until I think 3 o'clock in the morning. Don't wait till 3 o'clock in the morning, but you know what? Get online. You can get on my Facebook, look up 1,000 different places that I've reposted. It's really easy. You just click on. It's highlighted. Click on it. It'll say vote, vote. It'll say thank you. You voted, and this is the last day to vote.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Then it's over. So you can't be the coulda, shoulda, woulda. You really have to get to an electronic device somewhere and vote. Okay, we're taking a short break and we'll be right back.
Okay.
Look at that, we match.
All right.
All right. Your official welcome to the city, and good luck. You've got 2 administrative assistants all ready to go here. So we just want to congratulate you, wish you well. Everybody come get your property listed. Mike's ready. Thank you. Congratulations. Nice job.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for coming. We're really excited about opening up. It's a project that we've been talking about for a long time. Very excited to, finally dig our feet in and be ready to go. You know, real estate's an interesting business because not only do you get to, you know, not only is there a commerce side to it, but there's a deep community portion to it as well. And I think that's what's drawn Heather and I both to it. And we're just looking forward to continuing. Thank you all very much for coming. One other thing, there is a lot of food out near the elevator. I would like everybody to have some. I also want to thank Mr. Peter Bravenzi for that lunch.
All right, Peter.
Non-alcoholic
And hot
regular
champagne.
champagne.
All right. All right.
And they're properly marked.
Yeah.
On your third glass, you'll notice.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Awesome. Yay, thank you.
Great.
Thank you all.
And we're back here at Inside Leominster. And congratulations and good luck to Heather and Mike Mahan and their two beautiful daughters with Mahan Realty and a beautiful office space in the Manning Ave building. And very excited to be in their hometown and outselling real estate and specializing somewhat in commercial real estate, but all types of real estate. So we were happy to join them there for their grand opening. And I just can't tell you, we have seen in the last couple of years more small businesses open than any other time in the history of the city. And so we went back, and how do we find that out? We went back and researched it, and it's important that you have entrepreneurs, not just young entrepreneurs, but that spirit of entrepreneurship in all ages, people that are really excited, because that is where the job creation really comes from. That's the sustainable part. That shows the vibrancy of a community, the exciting part of it all. And if you just roll back, I mean, in the days of the Foster Grand and this building here, the DuPont building and Leominster Works, and back to the piano factories, what happened, right, is these businesses started off small, they grew. Foster Grant grew and then kept growing, and it grew into other states, provided more jobs here, more opportunities, promotions within the company, transfers to other states for other people. But what an opportunity. And it's really that entrepreneurial spirit that carries on and expands into the community. And at one time, we were nervous about all of the empty little mom and pop storefronts that were around. Downtown, more than 50% empty. Office space upstairs from the downtown retail centers were more than 50% empty. And then, it just seemed like there was space everywhere, and you just sort of wondered, would that ever come back? Oh, it's back, and it's back in a big way. In fact, our biggest obstacle now is just finding space, finding the right space to accommodate a new endeavor, a new dream, a new spirit of entrepreneurship. So, that's a great thing. So. Let's see where. I'll give my throat a rest. Take another drink of water. Let's do photos of the week. We haven't done them in a while. Let's see if I can find them first. Let's see how we're doing here. Okay, let's do pictures of the week. We have a really long list here. And Diane Susskind, she used to work at Fitchburg State. Her field and expertise was art, and she does such a great job. With her program, which is she shares stone artwork, not only in Leominster or in Massachusetts, but across the world. And it is amazing. She has worked so tirelessly in this effort. And it's for, I see young kids. I see pictures that she posts on social media, but it's for everybody. And it's soothing, it's encouraging. It takes people from different backgrounds and from different countries and different beliefs, and sits them down. And her stone creations bring people together. And so this Diane Susskind, a jewel and a gem for the city of Leominster here. And again, she travels all over the world. See if we can get to the next one. Oh, maybe it's this one. There we are. We welcome our new police officers and wish them well. They go through a rigorous police academy, all of the recruits, as well as our fire department as well. And there they are. We have a couple of our veteran officers that'll be helping to train them. And our city clerk does the swearing in, and again, did a great job. And so, yeah, congratulations to each of the officers, and most importantly, be safe. It's a good job. It's a good career. I miss it every day. And I know they're excited about doing their job. We're excited about them and their families. And again, most important, be safe and congratulations. And we welcome a new firefighter, Craig Hebert. And he is a veteran. And when he got back from military, active military, he didn't have time to rest. He went immediately to work at the Leominster Fire Department. And so there's the chief joining us, and the city clerk. And so again, be safe. Congratulations. You have a great group of mentors and trainers, people that work at the Fire Academy and instruct at different colleges across the area and the region. And they are the best of the best, and you couldn't have joined a better group of professionals. And there we are at the Route 2 Task Force meeting. Yes, we are doing something about Route 2. And at this particular meeting, we had officials from the state, MassDOT, and bring us up to speed on various projects they're working on. And believe it or not, in just 2 meetings, we're making progress. It's nice to see that MassDOT and the engineers and the folks that are on this Route 2 Task Force are in sync. We're coordinated, we understand each other, we're on the same page. And that is a big, big achievement. Just to get to the second meeting and find out we are all on the same page is nothing short of exciting. So good news coming. They'll be doing, at our last, I'm on the board at MassDOT, the last MassDOT meeting, we approved $20 million for Route 2, and that'll be doing the road surface over and some other improvements. From Lancaster all the way to 495. They're also doing same amount of money being spent on 190, and they're doing 6 bridges over there and repaving and reclamation of the project. So good things happening and lots of money coming back to this area. Boy, this is remarkable, I'll tell you. I think people are fascinated by this project. They went from the roof to all the floors, took them out, and they're starting over. The external of the building remains exactly the way it was, and it will remain exactly the way it was. It is the most structural part of the building. The integrity was outstanding. They showed me a laser level. They showed me how each of the bearing walls and the exterior walls were straight as an arrow and structurally, again, secure. And so that is coming along, and boy, it's generated a lot of interest. Would you look at that? Spring has sprung. I think, maybe it's just every spring we think this way, but I would have to say that this spring, maybe not the best in terms of weather, and we've had a lot of rain, but certainly the explosion of colors from flowering trees and ornamental trees, shrubs and things like red maples and cherry trees, just absolutely, just breathtaking, and just seems to me this year. And I would suspect, looking at the buds on the rhododendrons, that the display that we're about to see with rhododendrons and azaleas and other flowering shrubs and plants and trees, again, is going to be incredible. Now, don't forget, Shoreland Farm is peaking at the exact perfect time. You don't want to miss that. This is once in a lifetime sort of thing, because in the past they were never able, you can't. You pick a day and say we're going to have the event. You try to predict what day might be the best to have, the spring apple blossom festival, and you don't always pick the same, the right day. But they did it this time. Wait and you see the display, and it's going to be a beautiful day up there. Hey, there we are for Easter. We had Easter Fun Day at City Hall, and I don't know how many times the staff at City Hall took down. There was one day we had 3 events, so everything had to be taken down. Another group, put up for the next event, take down for the next one, and put up for the next. I don't know how many times. I think like 15 to 17 in a matter of about 20 days. Concerts, and this is just such a great day. Kids just love it, and we get a lot of help from other groups in the area, Project Apple, growing places, et cetera. And so staff at City Hall, the Recreation Department. So thank you all. These, I'd like to think we're creating memories, and that kids and families here in the city who live here, or other people that might come visit, and I hear it now. I've been mayor for 25 years, and I'll hear people talk about how they used to come to the stroll, and how they remember the first stroll, or how they used to come to Kids Day, and a lot of the different events, or the Recreation Department events, whatever they were. They remember, and now they take their children. Paving on West Street. Well, let me get the cough button. Does it work? There we go. We'll drink the water. So there they are. West Street, Merriam, Grove. We did a series of streets down on Whitney and Mill Street. We delayed that a little bit. National Grid came in and said last minute, whoa, we want to put gas line in. So luckily we did put the top coat on, down there working. We'll be back to do the sidewalks on West Street. About over $400,000 in sidewalks this year. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but we have a long list here to talk about. And there's the Chamber 35th anniversary. We were thrilled to be able to do our show from the Apple Barn and Country Club. And it's the 35th anniversary, and it was really a nice night. Dave McKeon, the former head of the Chamber of Commerce, was there, and met some new members of the Chamber and some of the more established veterans of the Chamber. But Sharon does a beautiful job, and Carl did just a great job up there, and it's a special place. And the Chamber has to move events around. They represent a number of communities. So they do. They've been very good at making sure that everybody gets, they do some events in Sterling and some in Fitchburg, and, they do move the event around. It was a nice celebration. Again, the 35th anniversary, and some visitors from the AIS and from some of the other local businesses around here, and got a chance to chat with them, and had a lot of fun. It really was a lot of fun. People are so good, and it's so fun and friendly. Love it. And the AIS Worcester Business Journal Manufacturing Summit, and the winner of the Manufacturing Excellence Award goes to AIS. And they invited me. I attended, and it's a proud moment to see one of our local companies, be rewarded and acknowledged, for their contribution in manufacturing, and great community and business partners, and they do everything they possibly can to do business with other local, tradespeople and caterers. And I was at the Doubletree the other day, and we were talking about AIS, and boy, everybody's eyes lit up, and they've been just a great corporate partner for us. So congratulations to everybody, and AIS thinks just like us. Team effort, an absolute team effort. So congratulations to all of them. The Tourism Update Breakfast, get together once a year for this breakfast, and a lot of good information. They had some great speakers that bring us up to speed on exactly what's going on. But you never really fully appreciate what tourism does to a local economy, and we kind of brush off sometimes the impact of local tourism. We don't think people come to this area, but they do a great job every year of explaining the millions that come into this area and visit in tourism. So don't minimize that, and don't think that who would come here, to visit. And most visitors in the area of tourism come from less than 50 miles. That's a national sort of standard. They come from less than 50 miles. So think about yourself and where you go on a weekend trip, or a getaway, or a fall somewhere on a bike trail or path. Think about where you might go, and it's probably less than 50 miles. Think of how many other people come into the area from less than 50 miles and enjoy our area, whatever it might be. And tourism doesn't necessarily have to be looking at historic homes or participating in an activity. It could be just visiting our trails and hiking on our trails, or visiting Shoalin Farms. We'll see thousands come this weekend. Or, we have the Beer Fest, the Johnny Appleseed Festival. People always remark about where they come from. Some take the train in and then Uber it in. Those are all tourists, and they leave money here. Johnny Appleseed visits at City Hall. And each of the schools in the 3rd grade will come out to visit City Hall. And then what happens is our historians from the Historic Commission and Society will take them on an in-depth tour of downtown area over to Carter Park, the library, and introduce them to the buildings. You know, those monuments that you go by every day of the week. Think about how many you know personally about it. Well, these kids go home and they know a lot about the legends of Leominster and the characters of Leominster and those heroes whose names are proudly displayed on those monuments downtown. And they go home, you know, these kids are smart. Their brains are like sponges. And just remarkable. So to the staff, they're always so well behaved, and we tell stories there, and it's just fun. It's a fun day for them, and I know it is. And move on to the next slide. There it is, the first happy birthday. These are students who have autism. They're on the spectrum in various capacities, and this is the first birthday party. And think about it. Parents oftentimes will go to a social gathering and a little bit uneasy about maybe attending that activity. Not that they won't go, but a lot of times people might not exactly understand autism, what it's like to be on the spectrum, and that a kid isn't or a child isn't really acting up, that they have some, you know, that they're, you know, challenged with autism or being in the spectrum. And so this was a birthday party especially for them. And you know what was remarkable is every parent, every child, every guardian came in there and were anxious-free. They didn't have to worry about what people thought. They didn't have to explain. And just for a couple of hours at City Hall, they could just have fun and be them. And what a party it was. And so many people got together. I don't even want to begin to say this, but it was the Leominster Autism Project, but it was the Hillary Foundation. There were so many people, and they were so excited about what they were doing. And the parents and guardians, we had cake and ice cream, and there was different activities, food and fun, and a band. Drink of water, please. Talk softly, carry a big remote. And so it was just a special day. I can only hope that you can capture from the film and from the pictures what a beautiful day it was. Everybody was at ease. Nobody was on edge. A lot of smiles. People were happy. And the Feldman event. Anybody remember Dr. Feldman? Dr. Feldman was a pediatrician. Dr. Feldman was the first physician who you'd bring your youngster to Dr. Feldman, and he'd do all the regular things to do your annual checkup and to listen and breathe and check your eyes out and look down your ears. But the conversation always included, so what are you reading these days? And your exit to Dr. Feldman's office was always, take any book you'd like. And Dr. Feldman would, he would inventory and build this battery, this library of books that he would put into his office to make sure students and patients, when they left, had a book in their hands and engaged in what they were reading. Anyway, the Feldman family made a donation to the public library. Never expected anything for it, didn't ask for anything, but ultimately it was the right thing to name the children's section of the library after Dr. Feldman. But the family didn't stop there. The family lives all over the country, and you know what they did? Every year now for 11 years, they come back and they pay for this Feldman Children's event at the Leominster Public Library. And what a great event it is. Do you know the entire Feldman family comes back for this event, no matter where they are? In fact, I believe one of the family members was in Israel at the time and Skyped in because she didn't want to miss this year. And none of them have ever missed, and they always come back, and they want to make sure that literacy and education and library services are still front and foremost here in the city of Leominster. And you know what? It is. And reading is important, and all one has to do is experience our community to realize whether it's the school, the library, or anywhere you go, or outside City Hall, and as the little foyer when you walk in, to realize how important reading and literacy is. The Montechusett Chorale. What a beautiful concert we had at City Hall. And about an hour and a half, 2 hours. And these are all local people. They don't get paid to do this. They raise all the money and it goes back to local charities. This went back to the Cherry Hill Farm family that lost that farm and barn. They're rebuilding now, not just the Montezuma Corral helping them out, but an entire region helping them. So it was a beautiful afternoon and a beautiful concert. And we went right from the Feldman event, right across the street to the Montezuma Corral, and then later that night to the synagogue for the Remembrance Day for the Holocaust. Bees have arrived at Cholin. You know what that means? They pollinate. You know what that means? Beautiful flowers, which bring beautiful apples. I think we're going to have a great crop this year. Don't forget, this weekend, the 18th, up at Cholin Farms. It starts at 10 o'clock. Don't miss it. They have more vendors this year, more going on this year than any year. Make it part of your day, even if it's for a half hour. Make it part of your day. And then there's our friends. Take a bite out of lime. And, excuse me, this has been an important project to take a bite out of lime, to educate students and the community. I learned some things about Lyme disease and ticks. And every year I participate and go to St. Leo's, I learn about ticks and Lyme. So let's take a bite out of Lyme, and we're actually probably going to have a few guests on from that group talking about how you can, protect yourself from these little ticks. I think they're the grossest things. I don't mind spiders, snakes, anything in the world. These things creep me out. And Special Olympics today, day. This is probably the third year that it rained. And it didn't rain. It absolutely poured. But it didn't take the smiles off of these kids' faces, and the excitement wasn't set aside while they participated. So the rest of the students at Samoset, as they do at every other school, line up the hallways and give a very warm exit and a send-off to all of the students participating in Special Olympics. And then we give them a police escort to Fitchburg State. But I got to tell you, I stepped outside my car, and it just poured. It is the first day in my lifetime that I ever used an umbrella. You know, I have umbrellas, but I've never used them for a bunch of different reasons. But you know what? I used it, but it didn't matter. It was just windy, and it poured, and not one of them complained. They had fun. It didn't matter to them. They face challenges every day of the week with a smile and with a great attitude. We can only learn from them. So 2019, Special Olympics was no challenge for them at all. And they all participated, and boy, I'll tell you, they're our heroes. They can really inspire one by the way their attitudes and the way they conduct themselves, and how friendly they are and helpful they are to each other. There we are, the bench dedication today to Joe Casey. And Joe Casey knew a whole lot of people. And if you didn't know Joe Casey, he was the town mascot. Joe knew just about everybody. In fact, Joe would try to remember everybody's name, but it's just impossible, right? They said the average person can only remember 167 names. Joe remembered hundreds. But still, but Joe remembered faces, and he knew kindness. And so they did a bench dedication because Joe Casey was at every sporting event at Doyle Field or wherever it might have been. Joe would go out, if he didn't have a ride, he'd have him ride immediately. You'd see him out on Route 2 or wherever it was, 117. And he'd start hitching a ride on, to go wherever the travel game was, and Joe would be right out there. I mean, right out there, and he'd get picked up. I remember sometimes 2 and 3 people pulling over to fight over who was going to give Joe a ride to a sporting event. So Christian there got the first Joe Casey scholarship award. He got $250, and he's from the Life Skills program. And I'll tell you, he's a chip right off of Joe Casey. And there's his bench. Joe would be very proud. He'd be thrilled to see that bench there, and I kind of think Joe knows it's there. But there it is. More people have been interested, Pat LaPointe said, in that bench than you just couldn't believe it. And the Material Girls, what better than the Material Girls? These ladies have like $5,000 and $10,000 sewing machines, and they make all these quilts, and they donate so much. They're really a talented group of ladies and men, and they're artists. And we just want to, they thank us for coming into City Hall all the time. Nah, the pleasure's ours. We love having you there. our MVP. This is climate control, our meeting with the Lieutenant Governor. Others were invited from the region, and we sat there and talked about, whether you believe it or not, whether or not global warming is something that you want to argue with people about. Everybody has their own particular, let me see, beliefs. But one thing that's certain is climate change is definitely having an effect on everything. So Lieutenant Governor Pick Leominster came out, and this is where we had our regional meeting. Congratulations to Ivy Keys, myself, to the left sitting on the stage, Mayor of Salem, and then the Mayor of Lawrence. We're all invited to speak about historic preservation in the city. And so Mass Historic presented awards to the 3 communities and others. There were 25 different venues who received awards. They weren't all cities. Some were agencies, some were people. And ours was Ivy Keys. That's that project down where Ron lives. And down on Adams Street. And you know what? It's a special night. We got a chance to talk about and highlight history and how very important history is in our community, and how grateful we are that we still have so many historic buildings that didn't get burnt down, didn't get torn down, didn't get condemned. Perfect example is the old Tom McCann building on Adams Street, this building here, and the Carter building. That's under renovation right now. Look at Gallagher Junior High School, 100 years old. City Hall, 100 years old, and they're still in good condition. The fire department, I think, late 1800s. And people care about our history. It's a pivotal point, a very important part of who we are. And more light installations downtown. They're doing the ornamental lights, doing a changeover, putting LED lights to put it all back together. Put our special banner program for our veterans, honoring veterans. And it's all coming together. Flags, ornamental lights, LED lighting, banners, flowers, great people. Samoset's visited the library the other day, this Life Skills program. And I have a really nice letter from the Life Skills students. I probably won't read it today, but I'll put it aside. But I want to thank them because this is what they said. Thank you for inviting, well, I guess I will read it. Thank you for inviting us to City Hall to light it up blue. We love the jukebox and listening to the music and having a dance party. Thank you so much for the food. The food was delicious. We appreciate that you made us cupcakes. They were yummy. Thank you for taking the time to eat lunch with us and to set up the visits to the department heads and the fire departments. We look forward to light it up blue next year again. And your friends, Matthew and Joe and Jamie and Sarah, Elizabeth and Jean and Jack and Katini and Kate and Sabrina and Sue and Mel and Gina. And nothing is better than spending an afternoon or a lunch with these students. They are full of hugs and smiles and unconditional love. Great kids and great staff. What a team. Police station meeting today. We are now whittled down to 3 of the companies that will be hired as project managers. And we'll continue in 2 weeks to actually select one of them. So we have interviews with 3, whittle it down to 1, select that group. That group will help us selecting the clerk of courts and the architect. And then the project moves on, finally. And there we are at Rhino Lining opening with the Carrigans, and there they are. You know what? Again, young entrepreneurs have been in business for some time. That spirit is still there. They have their son involved, local people that work there. And congratulations to them on their 2nd, 3rd, I don't know, 4th location. And Mahan Real Estate, as we said. There's little Hannah there and the Mahans, opening Mahan Real Estate. And congratulations and good luck to Heather and Mike Mahan. Oh, I have to tell you, 10 years celebration at Bliss Massage and Wellness. And so they had free, you could walk in and they give you, a chair massage. Oh, I can only tell you, I was a new person. I didn't want to leave. I just wanted to keep my face stuck in the rivet of that chair. I felt like a new person. She did a great job. Thank you, and congratulations to Bliss Massage and Wellness, now located down there on Central Street. Hey, there he is, star of the show. Louis, the vet, said, "Hey, Louis, putting on those pounds." Got to go on a diet, Louis. Should be down around 20, 22 pounds. Louis is he's a schnauzer, so he's part poodle and part schnauzer. So Mr. Schnoodle had to go on a little bit of a diet, which means it's not so much him, it's us that, feed him and sneak and cheat for him. But Louis has been really good. He gets fed once a day and maybe a treat or two. And Louis is fighting weight. Did you hear that? Fighting weight. And lost some weight, got a new haircut over there on the corner of Water and Mechanic Street. Got his new do. And Louis is ready to take on summer, and he'll be showing off at the beach, at the pool this year. At the pool parties, he'll be front and center. There's Louis. Louis, yes, wears bow ties. And yes, Louis was named after Louis Charpentier. And Louis loved each other. Got a kick out of each other. Hey, happy Mother's Day. We missed out last week. My mother will probably hit me over the head with a shovel or a rolling pin. But there she is with little Donovan. And happy Mother's Day, huh, to all those moms that are out there. I have a special mom. She's going to be 90. I tell everybody that she's 90. She's really not. She's only 89 right now. But it's a milestone in the Lanza Mazzarella family. And so happy Mother's Day. These ladies are special. They put themselves, their whole life, they put everybody else ahead of themselves. And there's generation number 4, Donovan. Well, let me just tell you, since that picture was taken, he's a lot bigger. And new park in progress. There it is. Boy, this has captivated the attention of everyone. Everyone's talking about this park. There are a few people that say, it's just going to get destroyed and vandalized. It has been 60 years, 57 years since there's been any recreational facilities on the east side. It's time. And you know what? Everyone appreciates it. And I know we're not going to have to worry about things like that. I stepped in there today and just walking through it, just felt so good. And to the right, kids will be able to throw a frisbee and play and tackle each other and give each other noogies. And on the left, there'll be benches and places for people to sit and just enjoy the day. Ornamental lights and $1.6 million total. Phase 1 was to secure the property and tear the building down. That's phase 2. And then in the back section will be phase 3. And then hopefully someday a community center. And there I am out of uniform. We put the flagpole up today. And so please don't anybody call me and say, the mayor sold the flagpole. He probably got rich off of that. No, we donated it. No, we didn't make any money off it. So anyway, there it is. So beautiful over there today. And there we are. Hey, there we are, guys. I guess we're out of time. Don't forget this weekend, Shoalin Farms. The Wallaces have their event. What is it with a cause? I'm sorry, my brain is toast at this point, so I can't remember it. But anyway, it's up at the Eagles. It's a big celebration. Money goes to Shine and other mental health groups and to create awareness. And they've been doing it for many years. They've raised a lot of money. Most importantly, a lot of awareness. Very important. Good night. God bless you. Remember, the world is run by those who show up. You got to show up. Good night.
Inside Leominster is brought to you through the generous support of Colonial Insulation Company, residential and commercial insulation and fireproofing services, specializing in blown-in cellulose as well as spray foam insulation. For more information, visit their website, colonialinsulation.com.